Hi, happy learning! I am Precious Liza Verano and welcome to my channel. As part of our final requirement for Social Studies Education 203 as the study of culture and society, we are going to create a social studies textbook, module, or learning guide. So, I have chosen as one social studies textbook which entitled Understanding Culture, Society, and Politics. This book is authored by Antonio Contreras, Arlie Ross de la Cruz, Dines Erasga, Cecile Falgodon, and Ronaldo Mactan. This book is also published by Phoenix Publishing House Incorporated, copyright 2016. It took me a while to find a book, but I am so thankful that I have lent this book to one of our teachers in my alma mater. So thank you so much, Ma'am Jolita Lendi, for lending me your book, and also for our professor. It's Dr. Myla Arcinas, the faculty in charge of SSC 203 in University of the Philippines Open University. The first part of the requirement is a question: what makes a social studies textbook module valid, engaging, and relevant? A social studies textbook is valid, engaging, relevant when it manifests or translates the four components of the curriculum. They are the aims, content, learning or teaching strategies, and assessment for the purpose of student learning. In this textbook, Understanding Culture, Society, and Politics, the aims, targets, and objectives align with those laid down in the relevant curriculum or subject or guide. The content is current, self-contained, and sufficient to address effectively the learning targets of the curriculum. Information and data are relevant and accurate. The sources of information are appropriately indicated. The learning activities are interesting. They involve and motivate students to learn. It is also designed to facilitate students to actively integrate, practice, and apply new knowledge. Familiar and interesting language is used to motivate learning and understanding. The text also connects with students' prior knowledge by including analogies and examples that are familiar to student experience. The layout is logical and consistent, and the materials are well organized, with appropriate use of space and margin for ease of reading, but avoiding unnecessary use of blank space. As part of the Part 1, what do you are the teacher's role and textbook's role in the social studies classroom? Broadly speaking, the role of teachers is to help students learn by imparting knowledge to them and setting up a situation in which students can and will learn effectively. But teachers feel a complex set of rules which vary from one society to another and from one education level to another. So, some of these roles are performed in the school, some in the community, and also in the society. Textbooks also are helpful, especially for beginning teachers like me. It provides organized units of work, gives you all the plans and lessons you need to cover a topic in some detail. Social studies textbooks are excellent teaching aids to a resource of both teachers and students. For the question, raise a valid argument as to whether or not one can run a social studies lesson by relying solely on a textbook. Justify the need to constantly review social studies reading materials. A textbook is only as good as a teacher who uses it. And it's important to remember that a textbook is just one tool, perhaps a very important tool in your teaching arsenal. Sometimes, teachers over-rely on textbooks and don't consider the aids or other materials for the classroom. Some teachers reject a textbook approach to learning because the textbook is outdated or insufficiently covers a topic or subject area. In our book, this book was published by Phoenix Publishing House, and this was published last 2016. So I think this is not really outdated, but this is still used by our senior high school in my alma mater, and this is also widely used in our neighboring schools. And as a teacher, you'll need to make many decisions, and one of those is how you want to use the textbook. As good as they may appear on the surface, textbooks do have some limitations. For the second part, I am tasked to create a original rubric to rate the textbook, the social studies textbook, based on my discussion in part 1. So, I have come up to the idea of this rubric. For the next question, as part of your critique, make a qualitative discussion of the book's content, strengths, and weaknesses in terms of skills and concepts it hopes to tackle and develop among students, including your critic major loves as seen. So I have here the table at the strengths, weaknesses, students' difficulty, and ways to solve the problem. For the next question, why would you not recommend this textbook for use in our local schools? Formulate valid suggestions and recommendations for the book writer, editor, and publisher. I would recommend this textbook for use in our local schools. Perhaps it is widely used in my alma mater, senior high school students as reference to Gus Strand, and also in junior high school in Hume Strand. I like to think of these textbooks as tools. They are only as good as the person using them. But I would suggest using many tools or textbook reference in your classroom curriculum instead of using on a single textbook. A great classroom, just like a great piece of furniture, needs many tools in its instruction. For the last part of this video, make a short reflection of the process you went through as a teacher-learner in this assignment. As I went through the process as a teacher-learner in this given project, I came to a realization that an effective teacher should not base the entire curriculum on a single textbook, since one single textbook cannot define the whole knowledge of the entire classroom. The textbook needs to be used judiciously. A textbook can be used as a resource for students, but not the only resource. There are many online references that are also useful for instruction. A textbook should be a guide, not a mandate for instruction. As a teacher, we should be free to modify, change, eliminate, or add to the material in the textbook. Supplement the textbook with lots of outside readings, and a teacher and a learner should be resourceful to achieve higher learning. So that is all, and I hope that you have learned something from me, and this is also a requirement for me to pass the subject. Thank you so much for watching, and I am looking forward for the next videos. Thank you, bye!